HR Success Talk has started its journey in 2012 with a vision to bring HR and business leaders together in a form of a community, share knowledge and learn from each other. Starting from a single blog, we reached our first initiative called Forum to give a bigger platform to HR professionals to collaborate with each other. Later, we realized that we need to connect our members in person along with online. Hence, we launched our vertical called HR String Meets, under which we organize HR conferences and meetups where we invite HR and business leaders to talk about best practices in HR and business in different industries. HR String Meets also became a platform for our members to network with each other. We continued and also launched our online assessment vertical, which helps professionals at different levels in their career to learn and get a certificate in a specified field in HR. These assessments and certifications help HR professionals to find jobs or advancement in their career. HR Success Talk has leveraged technology while building the community. Our YouTube channel is focused on providing online videos or diverse different topics for benefits of our member. We can find video study material on topics like talent acquisition, HR generalist, HR analytics, learning and development, labor laws, and many more. During pandemic, we launched our webinar vertical. Again, with the use of the technology, we continued our mission of sharing and learning from each other. We touched thousands of lives across the globe and shared knowledge which was meaningful for our members. In HR Success Talk, we believe in recognizing and appreciating the contribution of HR and business leaders in their field, which is equally important. Hence, we launched our award vertical to provide a platform to professionals to give an opportunity to showcase their contribution and get recognized for it. We believe in fairness and capability. Hence, our jury and selection process is built in such a way that it provides opportunity to those who really deserve it. HR Success Talk has a very good presence on multiple social media platforms and other communication channels like Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Twitter. You can also visit our website www.hrsuccesstalk.com to read some interesting blog by our HR bloggers on trending topics and issues. We are a huge community with global presence in multiple countries and thousands members and growing every month. We provide a platform to our members where they can learn from each other, can share their knowledge, and knowledge for others' benefit, build relationships and networking, and leverage this networking in any way they feel like. We have so many stories where our volunteers have leveraged this platform to find jobs, get new business opportunities, find a mentor to guide. It is up to them how they wish to leverage and use our platform. And guess what? You don't have to pay a fees to be a member or fill any form. You can be a member by click of a button by liking our Facebook, LinkedIn page or any other social media channel. Simple, isn't it? You must be wondering how we manage all this. Yes, you guessed it right. We have a force of highly talented volunteers who spend 3 to 5 hours every week of their time for this community. We also invest highly on the development of our volunteers, and our HR team organize exclusive training sessions for them. Some of them have started as volunteers, and today they are playing the leadership role in this community. If you also have the zeal and passion to serve the HR community and time to contribute, you can send your resume at info@hrsuccesstalk.com to be our volunteer. Our talent team will be in touch with you. For us, this is just a beginning. You can either choose to be part of the journey or watch it from a distance. Let's learn and share together.
Good morning and welcome from Abu Dhabi, UAE to all the global audience. Today, on behalf of HR Success Talk, we welcome you to our episode of Edge series. So what is Edge? Edge is experience, development, growth, and engagement. And this is a platform where we invite the big industry leaders who share their insights and experiences with our community. So I'm Nishi Shetty. I am the People Transformation Strategist, CEO, and founder of Niche Consulting. So what Niche Consulting does? Niche Consulting helps the professionals and individuals and the businesses who are having a challenge of business performance and career performance, and we help them through three verticals: HR consulting, training on positive psychology and soft skills, as well as leadership and career coaching. Today, we have as a guest very eminent speaker and a very senior professional from the industry, Mr. Zuhair. Thank you, Mr. Zuhair, for accepting our invitation to be here on this platform and sharing your experiences. So Mr. Zuhair has a span of more than 3 decades of experience, and the experience ranges from HR to procurement and corporate affairs. Currently, he holds a very senior position of director into corporate affairs, HR and admin, and procurement with Emirates Business Group based out of Abu Dhabi. And previously, he has worked with large conglomerates like Al-Haj and Halliburton. He has taken an initiative in all the organizations of Emiratization program, and he has even been awarded by Sheikh Mohammed for this initiative. So I will hand over to Mr. Zuhair, and he will talk more about his experience and his journey.
Thank you, Nishi, for the opportunity here, and we appreciate the efforts have been put to highlight the importance of human resources within the globe. My name is Zuhair Al-Haj. I have been in this industry for the past 25 years now. I have started my journey. I'm a Canadian graduate. I have graduated from University College of Cape Breton in Canada. In Bachelor of Business Administration. Then I have received my master degree of employee relation from Leicester University in UK. I have started my career with Halliburton as an office administrator, and I have developed there for the past for 8 years, where I have left Halliburton and joined Al-Haj, and that was the first step that I have taken into my HR career. In Al-Haj, I have spent almost 15 years, where I was in charge of the administration, procurements, and all these things. Then I was also given the responsibility of emiratization and the shared services in the MENA region. I would say during these 25 years, I have gained a lot of experience within the human resources industry, where I have been, I was privileged to actually learn and develop with many experts in this field. That has really enhanced my knowledge and my wisdom of what exactly I need to do to develop human resources.
Very, very impressive.
Thank you.
So now today's subject is what we are going to discuss with Mr. Zuhair is about human resources availability and hiring in the current world scenario. Now, as we all know, last 2 years has been very, very difficult and challenging due to the pandemic globally. And this has impacted in increasing inflation, job losses, salary cuts, because of which there is not only the recession which is oncoming, there is inflation, but also a lot of foreign workers in the Middle East have gone back to their home countries. So there is a big impact on the business cost as well as on every household. So we would like to discuss more and understand and take the insights of Mr. Zuhair on this subject. So please be with us. So I would like to ask you, Mr. Zuhair, what is the impact of the microeconomic situation on the availability of human resources?
From my perspective, there are the human resources department as a department is an integral part of any organization, where it has 4 pillars. Okay, talent acquisition, employee life cycle, learning and development, and engagement. These are the key pillars of human resources. And these are an important pillars for any organization, whether there is business booming or market restructuring. During the past 3 years, before the pandemic, let's start before the pandemic, where many companies were finding difficulties to actually finding the right caliber. Why? Because there were mass recruitments, and with all the efforts that you have been putting in recruitment, including headhunting, psychometric tests, and all these things, you are lucky to get 60 to 50% quality of the person. So the talent acquisition, even before the pandemic, was quite a challenge. Even before the pandemic, they have started to talk about there were a lot of efforts to enhance the engagement, the staff engagement in workplace. After the pandemic, due to the crisis, unfortunately, have some great companies have taken really strict measures with regards to human resources or the staffing, where they have really reduced without knowing the impact. They have really reduced the number of staff without thinking whether they actually need them or not. Unfortunately, they have really lost good competencies within the organization that they cannot, or they will find really a difficulty to rehire them again now, because some of them, they have lost the trust in some companies. And some of them, they have gone really massive with reducing salaries and all these things. I think, I understand that the business situation, and I understand that there are certain budget that the company has to run. However, not to really look into an easy. The fastest thing you can do is to reduce the staff. Okay, this is the fastest thing any organization can do and save money. But this is not a solution. This is a bad solution, and really impacts the companies for 5 to 6 years after that. I think some companies they played very smarter, where they have seen where they have utilized, for example, their employees in different departments. Some of them mobilize them. Some of them they have sent them on unpaid leave, for example, until the things have changed, and they have hired them. I think this is where we stand right now. Now again, many people have left the organization, and some of them have also left the United Arab Emirates, and to bring them again to UAE, it's quite difficult. First, why? Because they have already settled in other countries, and this has a major impact as well.
Very well said, Mr. Zuhair, and highlighting it from both aspects, from the people's aspect as well as from the company's aspect. I have also, during my experience while I'm consulting with many companies, I have seen there are many companies who decided they will not make any employee redundant. And some of the measures that they took was, as you said, they sent them on unpaid leave, they put them on bench, but they did not reduce their staff. And now when the market is coming back in shape, they still have their talents. While many others took the easy step, they made many people redundant, and they're trying to rehire, but these people don't want to come.
Sure.
So this has been very important. And what you said is actually a very important point, that employees have lost trust in the companies. So how the companies behave at the time of crisis reflects about the image and the values of the company. And this has come out very clearly during these times.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing that. Now, I would like to ask you about one of the very important points. UAE government here has taken the initiative, and they have started this Nafis program. And what I understand about the Nafis program is that there are many initiatives under that, many schemes under that, which helps the businesses. So it is for the business support to hire Emiratis while they take care of the salaries. But there is also child support program for the Emiratis. Now, what is your thought about the challenges and the value and the benefit that it brings for a business, and how easy it is for them to enroll into this program?
You see, from my perspective, and after being involved in Emiratization for many years, I think that the Ministry of Human Resources and Emiratization need to really take a more advanced step to attract Emiratis, or to help Emiratis to be enrolled within the private sector. Today, having a system, an online system to recruit Emiratis, okay, I do believe in technology. However, I still believe that a more collaborative approach is important to attract local talent. First of all, we have from a Ministry of Human Resources perspective, I think they need to really build an Emiratization department or an Emiratization authority to be in charge of the recruitment of Emiratis. This authority need to be equipped with a really qualified human resources competencies, not only administrators. Okay, so HR business partners need to be part of this authority, because with the once you enhance and develop this authority, then they can really approach the private sector, and they will be speaking the same language. It's not really common to bring an administrator and to speak to an HR. Okay, both of them, they will speak different languages. However, if you bring somebody, if the authority is equipped with the right people, with the right Emiratis who are expert in human resources and who understands how to develop and train Emiratis, then this authority can work with the private sector, shoulder to shoulder. Also, the private sector need to understand that Emiratization is a national responsibility. It's not nice to have, okay, and they need to take it as an integral part of their strategic vision, okay, for the business. So both of them can work shoulder to shoulder and screen the right Emiratis, do a clear job description, job analysis of the positions available in the company, and then monitor this with good coaches and mentoring approach, so that they monitor the progress, the fast progress of the Emiratis within the business. What's happening right now? You go online, you apply for a job, that you as a private sector, you apply for a job that you want to hire. They will send you some CVs. Most of the time, these CVs are not screened. Okay, so you are they just dump CVs on your shoulder to really screen and do all these things, and so on and so forth. So it's not practical. The Ministry of Human Resources, I think they need to take a step ahead and bring quality Emiratis that can also work with the private sector in good position and develop Emiratis. And having Emiratis in the private sector who can work with the Ministry of Human Resources is also very prudent. Emiratis who have really developed into the private sector for the past 10 years, so they understand what's going on. And there are a lot of Emiratis who are expert in human resources who can be embedded in the private sector, so that they can work shoulder to shoulder with the Ministry of Human Resources.
Thank you for detailing the entire process and your thoughts on this, because you have driven this program for many, many years in the organization, and you've been awarded for that. It is straight away coming from your experience. So you're absolutely right that the company should take it as a national responsibility and not as a nice to have thing, because the companies are taking it as a nice to have or a mandatory thing, which is, sometimes helps in the visa quota and the expenses as well. It is not really embedded in the values and the culture of the company. And when that doesn't happen, the employees of the company, when an Emirati is hired, they don't really provide a support that they should to an employee to nurture that person. Now, I would like to ask another question on this, Mr. Zuhair, because a lot of companies have reluctance, either because they think that the money that we will have to pay to an Emirati may be higher than they would pay to an expat worker, or the timings will have to be reduced in an organization, or they would like to take on more leave than others, which is not true. It is very individualistic. Now, even though we should have an HR in the private companies, but it is always not possible. What should be done to coach these leaders in the organization on this aspect?
I mean, from my perspective, an engaging leader is very important to any organization. Today, when we hire leaders, they need to have an open mind of what exactly they need to achieve. Okay, not only from an operational aspect, no, also from staff engagement as well. And from this perspective, we if it's not, I mean, as you said, if once Emiratization has become part of the vision of any company, then the process of hiring Emiratis will be easy to approach, and this is where we need to achieve. I think there are a lot of competent Emiratis. The mindset have changed. I mean, from my perspective, impact. I mean, when the ministry have put a role that if you don't hire Emiratis, then the visa cost will be higher. I think this is an easy approach. Many companies, they said, okay, khalas, I will just pay that money and finish it. I think there should be some more restrictions on the business that would impact the business operation if you don't really comply with the Emiratization strategy of the country. From this perspective, I think the companies will waken up. I think there are a lot of competent Emiratis in the country. Many graduates from good universities inside UAE. Some of them have graduated from abroad. The ministry have already done a lot of initiatives in order to to support the companies in terms of funding the amortizations as well. And this is very generous, So in other countries, they will just implement amortization without giving any support. So I think it's a very it's a big generosity from the UAE government to really support the private sector to attract more Emiratis. Now, if you go to any other country, you cannot even apply for a visa. Or in Egypt, for example, it's if you recruit one expat, then you need to recruit 10 Egyptians. In Oman, 1 to 4, and this sort of things. Here, no, they said no. We are open-minded country, and we are trying to attract also the private sector. And we are also giving the privilege to the private sector that I'm going to support you. And I think the expectation have really downgraded now with regards to salaries, because the supply is more than the demand right now. We have a lot of Emiratis who are jobless, and at the same time they are qualified. And I think the private sector can afford their salaries, especially for beginners. You're talking about 10,000, 12,000, 14,000. I think it's doable. However, there should be a passion for amortization. Yeah.
Absolutely, and well said. If we don't take this in an integral way in the company, and the leaders don't drive this in the company, people will not follow. The mindset will not change. We have to have that paradigm shift in terms of emiratization. And UAE government is really supporting emiratization more than any other country. If you look at all the schemes that it has provided, not only to support the Emiratis, but also to support the businesses. And there wouldn't be any other country that would do that. So well said, Mr. Zuhair.
Thank you much.
Now, what would be your advice to the industry leaders to retain their people, their talents during this critical situation? Because as you said, it is very easy to ask them to leave, but then you don't get the talent back. You get a replacement of another person, but you don't get the talent back.
Sure. This is very important question. Now the entire world have changed. First of all, the new generation has totally different mindset. They are totally different than us, the old generation. If nowadays the employee would leave you if he doesn't find or she doesn't find the right environment. Okay, so this is part one. The new generation is he or she, you need to really give him ahead of time what exactly his career path is going to be. Okay, so you have to be very transparent to where he will be or she will be another 1 or 2 years from now, not 5 years. If you don't clarify this from day one, he won't join you. Okay, and right now also the new generation is into doing they are into what exactly the company is going to give me more than what am I going to give to the company. So they are really looking into their personal interest first. Are they going to give me, for example, the option of working from home, or the option of having more annual leave days, the salary, the location, and this sort of things. Something that will really concern the employee well-being of the company. In order to have we need companies, they need to enhance their policies to get into more policies that will help the well-being of the employees. Okay, regarding their social life and all these things, more social activities, more CSR. The new generation are into CSR, so corporate social responsibility should be an integral part of any company. And again, engaging leader. You have to bring really engaging leader who would make the right environment for the new generation.
Very, very good points discussed here, Mr. Zuhair. And yes, we talk of hiring millennials, because they have a lot more tech knowledge than the previous generations, but we don't realize how we manage them and retain them. So now they just don't want working from home option. People want work from anywhere option. They go on holiday, they work. They want flexi hours. And as you rightly said, there in many people, what's in it for me? More than what can we give back to you as an individual. So these points are very, very important. And they need to know now where they will be in the next 1 year or 2 years or 5 years, which sometimes becomes very difficult for the leaders. But we have to change. And my next question would be on this. What should the leaders do to be ready to hire and manage and retain these talented millennials?
As leaders, they need to change their mindset and to understand and to open their eyes that the world have changed. There are a lot of training and development courses that they can take on how to engage your staff. I think they need to be hands-on, the staff. They need to really work with them as a family. There are a lot of things to do in their personality. In short, they need to be very open-minded. They need to understand the new generation. New generation would, they don't understand the history. Okay, they don't understand it. They only see the future in front of them. So in order, and they won't come to your level of understanding of life. So you have to go down and to their level. Okay, just like your children. Once you are a father, no matter what you try to convince your children that this is the tradition, this is the culture, they won't understand it. Okay, so you have to go to their level and then take them smoothly and into easy steps to understand the future. This is, I think, how leaders can approach the new generation.
Yeah, absolutely. A leader is like a parent to the team, and they have to follow the same techniques that they follow to be working with the children or the younger generation. So I would like to ask another question on this aspect. We are talking about well-being, especially during pandemic, and more so now than earlier. And when I'm doing coaching and when I'm doing training, there are a lot of stress management training requests from the organizations. There are well-being trainings requests. I am approached by individuals and professionals who have problems with their teenager kids and millennials who are going into depression at such a young age. And what is the problem? Just studying at home or working from home. So this positive psychology or training on emotional development and emotional fitness is becoming more important than before. Now, when a company is hiring a person also looks at what the company is going to be providing for the development from all aspects, not just career, not just skills, but also employee engagement, a culture of the organization. These are the things that employee looks for which a company should have employer branding. So if a company is seen as employer of choice, that is the time employee wants to go into that company. So what are those factors that the company should look into to be the employer of choice, such that they attract people rather than going after them or searching for them? What are those things that a company should do differently that people approach the company?
I mean, as you say, employee branding is very important. Nowadays, whenever somebody is applying for a job, they will always search whether about the environment. How is the environment of that company in terms of engagement, in sense of corporate social responsibility, what facilities they have, what facilities they have for the staff, and so on and so forth. One of the major important nowadays for the staff, most of the new generation, they have some sort of they cannot manage. You know, they always have they are always either under depression or they don't know how to manage their life. Okay, why? Because the culture have changed. In the olden days, the father and the mother plus the community around the father and mother used to be the mentor and coach for the children. Okay, in terms of behavior, culture, tradition, and all these things. Now, the new generation, they are receiving all the information through the social media. Okay, and there are tons of information that's exported to their brain on daily basis. So they don't know what's right, what's wrong, and the community is also busy that they don't have time to actually mentor and coach somebody else. You know, so almost everybody is busy with him or herself. These people, when they come to the company, I appreciate the system and technology in human resources. However, we are going back, I think, to the old personnel department. This is what we need actually. Previously, the progress of human resources have started with personnel department. Then it changed to administration department. Then human resources department. Then it has gone to HR business partner department. I think we need to go back. Okay, I think we are really obsessed with the technology to the level that the employee has become a number or a figure to us. Okay, he or she doesn't have an interaction. Nobody knows the family life of this person, what stress he has, and all these things. And this is impacting his work and her work as well in the company. This is where we need to really have separate HR operations that takes off whatever the employee life cycle of the employee within the organization, and to have a dedicated human resources department to look into the training, development of the staff, give them some sort of mental support, give them some sort of enhancement of how to resolve some of the issues they have, financial issues, family issues sometimes. This is where we have grown. As I remember when I started my career, there used to be an HR where I will go and meet him and tell him, okay, I have this problem at home or this. Then he will understand me. You cannot put this in the system. These issues, you cannot place them in the system. And the system cannot give you a response as well to your inquiry. However, if you have a human in front of you and who understands your point of view, maybe things will be changed. Sometimes you end up terminating people because you don't understand what's the issue. You think that the guy is not competent. No, he is competent, but he has a problem that you are unable to, as a company, to resolve it. This is where we need to change.
Absolutely, very, very important points. And what you said is right. It is becoming like a life cycle. We should go back on certain things, and we should advance on other things. But when we become very obsessed with the technology, what is happening is it is creating more space and distances between human beings and in the families. But ironically, not only the problem is that the parents don't have time to coach or mentor the children, or the people around in the organization don't have time for mentoring the teams, subordinates. The problem is also with themselves. The leaders and the adults, they are becoming so engaged on the social media that they are spending more time in creating their own image, than spending time for the children. So mentoring and coaching is becoming less of a thing now, which is more of a requirement. So as a last question, what would be your advice to the HR community, one? And second, to a lot of the students who would be watching this video, who are the universities aspiring students going into the corporate, what would be your advice to them, to these two communities?
My sincere advice to human resources. Human resources is not a job role that you do. I think it's a very compassionate duty that God has rewarded you as a human to do it, where you have been given the chance to manage humans, and managing humans is totally different than running operations. You have to be really careful on how to manage these humans. It's a key responsibility. You are part of developing the future of any country, and this is your job, as a human resources. Now, for the new generation, my sincere advice: please be keen to capture your future from now. Don't lose opportunities. Don't raise your expectation. God has created the world and the earth on 6 days, so don't expect that that you are going to be in the top of the scale within one day and night. No, this life has been created so that we work hard, and if you don't work hard, you won't reach to your vision. And this is my advice.
It's absolutely a very, very important point and very good advice especially for the young generation. We all want very quick results. When we go for yoga, there is power yoga. Yeah, everything is fast paced. There is crash courses and fast paced, and we get worried the product that is going to come out of attending those things. How much of knowledge would they have, and how much of patience and perseverance they would have in terms of taking it on. So very important. Patience and hard work. Only then you can do smart work.
Sure.
You have to start with this.
Sure.
So thank you very much, Mr. Zuhair, for all your time and the advice that you have shared on this platform. HR Success Talk is a platform. It's a free platform of more than 110,000 HR members globally. And this has been started by Mr. Govind, who's a person in India. And he's a visionary person. I am the president of Abu Dhabi chapter for HR Success Talk. It's an honorary position, and would like to create this community of HR professionals in Abu Dhabi and Al-Ain for improved and more solidarity and work together for the community and for each other.
Sure.
Yeah. But thank you very much for sharing your insights, your experiences, your knowledge over 3 decades, which we just couldn't capture in these 30 minutes. And we would like to know more from you. Thank you very much.